Hi everyone, I'm Nicholas Tutora. Welcome to Tutora Time. Well, it's only 85 days since Joe Biden took office. Yes, only 85 days into fascist America. And the Democrats are already floating their pack the Supreme Court legislation. Yes, the left wants to add additional justices to the Supreme Court, and by doing so, wiping out the United States of America as we know it.
It's just a show! It's a show! Come on. Let's make a deal! Let's make a deal!
There's been 9 justices on the Supreme Court since 1869, and to add additional justices is simply a measure at gaining political power and gaining a rubber stamp for whatever undemocratic or anti-liberty agenda the Democrats want to enforce.
You son of a bitch! You're supposed to stand for something! You're supposed to protect people!
People say, well, Donald Trump packed the court. No, Donald Trump did not pack the court. There were vacancies on the court when Donald Trump was president, and he filled those vacancies. He did not create 4 new seats for the Supreme Court. So do you get the difference out there, folks? There's a job available, and you appoint somebody to fill that job. That's very different from creating 4 new jobs. Once the left packs the Supreme Court, they will do anything and everything they like. You think you have the right to bear arms? Guess again, it's going to go to the brand new Supreme Court, in which it'll just be a rubber stamp for those that want to steal your guns. You think you have the right to free speech or freedom of religion? The brand new Supreme Court is just going to be the rubber stamp to say you don't have it. And any form of protest, any voice that you raise, any constitutional right you think you have will be struck down by the new Supreme Court if it doesn't agree with the communist, fascist, leftist agenda. And of course, this is true, folks, because if it wasn't, why would they be wanting to pack the court? A few people introduced this bill. One of them was Jerry Nadler, a complete nightmare. And the other one was Hank Johnson, possibly one of the stupidest people I've ever heard in my life. Hank Johnson made a statement a while back that he was afraid that if we put too many supplies on Guam, the island would tip over.
Yeah, my fear is that the whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
We don't anticipate that.
I guess nobody took the time to explain to Hank Johnson that an island is not floating on the water. It's just a mountain coming from the seafloor, and the top is sticking out above the water. So Hank, no matter how much you put on an island, it's not going to flip over. You know, maybe it's just me, and maybe I should be more open-minded. But if someone is so stupid that they believe an island is floating on the water, I really don't think I trust them to determine the future of all litigation and Supreme Court rulings in this country. I mean, for real. Is he going to promote doing a rain dance next to get the climate balanced? The other thing about adding justices to the Supreme Court, which is really hideous, is, as I said, it's been 9 justices since 1869, which means there's been so many presidential cycles where people have voted for their candidate based on who they want on the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court has evolved to be a natural reflection of the voice of the people. Sometimes the Democrats have control, sometimes the Republicans have control, and each gets to appoint justices as they are available. That inherently keeps the balance of power fair. But now that there's a conservative justice majority on the Supreme Court, the left just wants to wipe that out by adding 4 Supreme Court justices. So it's not just changing the legislation that's going to be declared constitutional or unconstitutional. It's also about nullifying the voice of not just the people in this election cycle, but nullifying the voice of people going back to 1869. All those people who went to the polls, all those people who voted for presidents based on Supreme Court nominees that could possibly end up on the court, all of that's going to be wiped out. And the left thinks they have license to do it. Joe Biden is saying he doesn't really support packing the court, but what he does support is a commission to examine whether justices should be added, whether the Supreme Court should be expanded. Look, you could call it by any name you want. They're looking to create a rubber stamp in the court. I don't know about you, but I don't want to stand before a court whose political ideology has already been decided. And folks who are cheering this on and are in favor of it, be careful for what you wish for, because today that rubber stamp favors you. Tomorrow, it may not, and you'll have no way out. You know, one of the reasons I personally think the current Supreme Court has been so silent on all the election cases that have come up over the last year and anything really controversial is because they don't want the left to pack the Supreme Court. So they figure if they just lay low and back off of certain cases that they can hold their positions. When you're John Roberts, the Chief Justice on the Supreme Court, I bet you like the trappings of your power and you don't want to hand that over. So if you have to make rulings that keep the 9 justices in place to not upset the political opponents of the court, you'll probably fold and do that. And I would postulate that's exactly what we've seen happen.
The son of a bitch is guilty!
So they're moving with lightning speed, only 85 days into fascist America, and the left is looking to pack the Supreme Court and destroy jurisprudence once and for all in the United States of America. Folks, if they do this, we're going to have to really examine our options because they are destroying the United States. They're just changing America from underneath it and slapping the America label on it. It's like New Coke. They say it's the same thing, but nobody really wants it. And you know the people don't really support them because if the people really wanted it, you don't have to use tricks like packing the court or trying to make DC a state or any of the other shenanigans the left has up their sleeve to try to gain power. Whether it's race or the environment, they don't really care about any of it. All they really care about is using anything they can to try to demoralize their political opponents and to gain absolute authority for themselves.
I see the wheel spinning. Sex photo, sex crime. Is he guilty? Is he? Yes.
And lefties, don't be so naive to believe that people seeking power have become completely honest. They want the power and they want it all. They want more for them and less for you. And now they've got their finger on the button and ready to move forward with their plan. We have to speak out, folks. You have to call all your legislators, all your congressmen, all your senators, and let them know that you are against this. There's a couple of Democrats who are standing in the way of breaking the filibuster, Joe Manchin and unbelievably Kirsten Sinema. So hopefully those two will hang on. But it's really not enough. We cannot pin the hopes of the United States on just these 2 senators. Folks, speak out. Don't take this lying down. Once freedom disappears in America, it is gone from the planet forever. And it's going to be a very dark place without liberty and freedom anywhere in the world. I'm Nicholas Tutora. I'll talk to you again soon on Tutora Time.